be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, see. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Hiya. It is I, Jesse Blaze Snyder, the coolest geek alive, and I am back with another coolest pick. I went out last night with my family, or part of my family, and we saw Deadpool 3. Now, some of you may find it irresponsible, and I'll talk later a little bit at length about my feelings on, R ratings and what is off limits for my kids and what's, really not a big deal, depending on the kid. And I knew that both of my kids, Miss Logan Lane and Mr. Grayson Wayne, were young but up for this, and I knew that the things that they that I probably wouldn't want them to understand, they weren't going to understand, and it's not a big deal. As I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of adult movies, and it was years later that I went, oh, I get that now. So, I think people worry way too much about, like, oh no, don't present them with reality. Like, it's okay. We all slowly age and understand things in different ways, and that's the cool thing about growing up. But I knew based on what I saw that this movie was probably appropriate and didn't really have the things that I tend to steer away from, which is really more, gratuitous sort of sex type stuff. And there's not a lot of that going on here, but there's a lot of action and gruesome gore and stuff. But we all had a pretty roaring time, I would say. Before I give my review of and it's not really a review, these coolest picks. It's just me gushing about the thing. So I'm mostly just going to gush about the thing. But because it's recent, I will give a little bit of critique context to just your experience, if you're just going to be going in all excited to see it so that you can enjoy it the most. But first, let me introduce Miss Logan Lane. No, wait, you're not Logan Lane. That's my older daughter. Miss Parker Pride Snyder. Parker Pride, how old are you?
7.
7 years old. And what did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine?
It was the best movie I've ever seen. 10 out of 10, definitely.
Whoa. Best movie you've ever seen. 10 out of 10, definitely. Okay, why was it so good?
I don't know. I just loved it so much.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me introduce Mr. Grayson Wayne Snyder. Grayson Wayne, how old are you, my son?
9, turning 10.
9 turning 10. Grayson, what did you think of Deadpool Wolverine? Here, could you come just a little bit closer over here to this single microphone that I'm having us all work on? All right, what did you think of Deadpool Wolverine?
I thought it was amazing. I cried at one part, and I thought it was very cool and a lot of action in it.
Nice. I cried at a few parts. I was surprised that I was the biggest crybaby of the whole bunch. I heard everybody say, he very pointedly said at some point, I cried during one of the parts. And Parker was like, yeah, he did. And Julie was like listening. And I was like, I cried at least 2 or 3 times. So I'm a big baby. I'm easy to get though. Grayson, what do you give it overall?
Overall, I give it a 9.5.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
9.5 out of 10. What do you give it as a out of 10? Just for perspective for our audience at home.
10.
You gave it a 10. Oh, that's right. She said 10. She was like 10 out of 10. That's amazing. 10 out of 10. So have you thought of any of reasons in particular why? Because you said
I liked all the action.
you liked all the action. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about what you liked about the action?
There was a lot of crime fighting and guns and funny parts.
Yeah. And so you just felt really entertained the whole time? Did you understand the story good enough?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about you, Greg? Is there anything that you can point to that's the shit that made you the happiest? See, look, Daddy's like, what's the shit that made you the happiest, Greg? See, obviously, I'm not too concerned about the language in Deadpool. All right. Say.
I liked all the fighting scenes where they took place and stuff. And I like all the characters I saw and all the fighting scenes. And yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk about it right now, but if you guys want to hang And if you think of something that you want to say or add to what I'm saying, you can tap me on the shoulder or you put your finger up, and I'll get you on the microphone. That sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, my daughter's whispering in my ear. You know, everybody's got to wait right now. Everybody's like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you tell me. Do you want to tell me on the microphone? Okay. All right. So, your birthday? We're talking about your birthday. She wants some birthday love. Can we get some birthday love? Her birthday is going to be on August 7th.
It's 11 days.
It's in 11 days. She's counting down. She's at that age, my friends. What up, coolest geeks? Jesse Blaze Snyder here, and warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Easily meet your wellness goals before the summer passes you by, thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? There's 35 different meals with more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, so you'll always have lots of new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this August with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious, from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. And, if you want, you can treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Look, we all like to keep our kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are literally ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, no prepping, no cooking, no cleanup. It's effortless support for any lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/CGA50 and use code CGA50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code C as in coolest, G as in geeks, A as in alive, and 50 as in 50% off your first box. CGA50 at factormeals.com/CGA50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Love you guys. Care Bear Stare. So, yes, this movie has a lot of set pieces. As my son said, you know, there's a lot of like locations that are really cool where fights go down. In particular, one of my favorite fights, and you know, I'm not really like giving anything away, but there's a fight that basically just happens inside a car. And the Deadpool, it was hysterical, right? It was an amazing fight.
It was the best fight
It was the best fight. And like, I mean, you talk about different locations, and there were some locations that were like big locations, and that one was the smallest location, just in this car. And it was brutal and great. I'm very fond of. The Deadpool character comes from this Rob Liefeld aesthetic where he was just drawing all these pouches on Deadpool and all these swords and shit. And I wrote a single Deadpool story, but I wrote a lot of pitches for Deadpool. I did a lot of pitching for a lot of different Marvel things, you know, when I was in that world at the time, and a lot of things for Deadpool. And I just always loved to utilize the fullness of his armory. You know, a guy walking around with 2 swords and a gun here and a knife there, and like he ought to utilize all of these weapons at his disposal. And it was great that he kept pulling out his baby knife and which the little ankle knife that he you know, I've had on every action figure that I've ever used, and I've totally baby knifed a whole bunch of people. You know, at a certain point, Deadpool went, well, I got this one. And stabbed some guys, and there's some great baby knifing in the car fight.
To say baby knife every single time
Because it's like spoon. It was great. It was hysterical. This is like my favorite moments.
I like the baby knife part.
Yeah, there is some amazing stuff. It really is awesome. The first movie, I'd almost give it a 10, but like as a writer and somebody who really loves Deadpool, there was a few things that I would have tried to add in from the comics that were really excellent and could have been like the things that make that movie so great are all from the comics. And if they had just gone a little bit deeper with a couple extra things, and I've gone out of my way to point out these things. Or, I guess I'll go out of my way to point them out real quick, or at least point out one of them because I don't remember all of them. But like one in particular was the whole Deadpool name came from the fact that they were running a Deadpool in the Department H where he was being experimented on. They were, being tortured. And all these guys formed like a camaraderie and a unified hatred for Francis, who was torturing them all. And the Deadpool was set to, who's going to die first because people were dying. And, eventually people would just get tortured to death. And that Deadpool name came from him winning the Deadpool by being killed. Even though he didn't really win the Deadpool in the end. In the end, one of his friends was killed beforehand, and it was all really brutal. This was in the comic books, so but it was really, really well done. There's one issue. Was he killed in a pool? I don't remember. I haven't read the issue in a few years. No. So
did he kill somebody in a pool? Like that's why his name should be Deadpool.
No. So, have you ever played poker?
Oh yeah.
Right? We played poker that one time?
Yeah, but I do not know how to play this.
No, I understand. But there is if you play with money and chips, there'll be a whole bunch of chips on the middle of the table, and it's your money, and it's my money, and it's his money. And they call that the pool. Whoever wins gets the pool. So, the Deadpool is whoever wins by dying. They were trying to die. And the funny thing about this is because they were being tortured really badly every day. They were being tortured as an experiment.
He came back to life.
He came back to no. So in the story, it's really great. In the story, he's hallucinating and he's imagining death. And death is depicted often as a woman, but a skeleton woman in like a black cloak, and he's in love with her. He wants her. He wants the sweet embrace of death. He doesn't want to be hurting anymore. He's hurting so badly. He wants to be gone. And when he dies finally, he's like about to embrace with death, but he's so pissed off at Francis, who had killed one of his friends who was in the Deadpool, one of the other people earlier that day or earlier in the issue or whatever, and he was so mad that he decided to not die. And Death said, if you don't come to me now, you can never come back. And so now that's why Deadpool can't die, because Death scorned him. And I loved that addition to his origin, that basically this was like a mental thing on a deeper plane, that he was, Death was uninterested in him, and now he can never die. So the Death stuff is really cool. They didn't have to go that far, but the Deadpool thing, the Deadpool name, making that name mean something, I think would have been more meaningful. And there's a few other things from that bit. You have something to say, Gray?
Yeah, I'm adding on to why I like the movie so much. Deadpool is my number one favorite Marvel character. So, and I have like a whole collection of Deadpool Funkos. So I love the movie, and it's amazing. And I've read some of the comics as well because I have them in my room.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about Deadpool as a character, just out of curiosity?
I mean, I love that the suit. I love like how funny he is.
It's a great suit.
Yeah, I love how he's funny and he has a great suit, and that he, like, even in bad situations, he's still funny and makes jokes.
The thing that I've liked to say about Deadpool and why Deadpool's, really the ultimate character. I mean, really, he's like, if I'm being honest, he's my favorite, and he's always been my favorite because he was my first love at Marvel. Really, when I started reading the books, because I collected cards. And I would look at the books, but I didn't really read them. The first book I read was Savage Dragon. And then when I started working at 7-Eleven when I was 15 years old, or 15 or 16, they had Deadpool comics on the racks there at the newsstand. So when I went on break, I would take a comic in the back and I would read it. And I really liked Deadpool. So that's how I got into comics. And he is a Muppet Man. Because of the nature of him not being able to die and, like, anything bad can happen to him, he's, like a Looney Tune. You can put him through anything. hold on one second, baby. Let me just tell this story before you interrupt. But also, he's somebody who wants to do good. He wants to succeed at doing good, but he's a fuck up. He's a failure at most of the things he pursues. He feels that way about himself, and it's this self-fulfilling prophecy. He keeps screwing it up, which is the thesis of all the Muppets, really. Like, Fozzie's not a good comedian, but that's what he wants to do, and he's going to keep showing up trying to do it. And waka, 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 but better luck next time. And everybody's like that. The Swedish Chef, I've told this story so many times. He can't cook a meal, and Gonzo can't finish a performance. Neither can the Electric Mayhem with Animal on the drums. Wayne and Wanda can't finish their dance. Sam the Bald Eagle can't get a program off the ground that is actually wholesome the way he wants it to be. It's just these people who really earnestly want something and are pursuing something. And for Deadpool, it's goodness. He's trying to be good, but he's really kind of bad. And it comes from a place of he's so good that sometimes it makes him bad. And I really just adore the character. So to bring it in for a landing, in just talking about it at all, the first movie is a 9.5 or a 10 for me. The second movie I think is like a 9 for me, or something like that, maybe an 8.5 as well. And then this is like an 8.5. For me, it's not that it's like bad or anything. There's some things that, once again, I'm not trying to say I could have done better. But yeah, story-wise, I think they could have done even more interesting things than they did, and than they attempted to do. The possibilities of what this movie could be and what it was were a little bit less than I was expecting or hoping. But it was definitely cool, in similar to the Spider-Man No Way Home sort of way. The way that Spider-Man No Way Home was cool, this is very cool in a similar way. But this is not as satisfying as Spider-Man No Way Home. Do you think this was as good as Spider-Man No Way Home, Gray?
As good, Spider-Man No Way Home. Is that the first one?
No, it's the third one with all three Spider-Man.
Oh, last one? Yeah, I kind of think I liked Spider-Man No Way Home. I liked all the characters in it. But I feel like Deadpool's more... Spider-Man is my second favorite character. Because, they're the same people, same suit, but they don't have the same personality. Deadpool's funnier. Spider-Man is, more fun and stuff. But I honestly do think Spider-Man was the tiniest bit better with all the characters. But I also think that Deadpool had some characters that I liked and funny scenes. So honestly, I can't say one's better.
Well, thanks, Grayson. Thank you for joining us. Parker already peaced out because she's awesome like that.
Bye, everyone.
See you later. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Please join us on Mondays for All Your Favorite Bands Suck. I think I'm trying to do some South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone music this coming Monday. I'm excited about that. Last week was Everclear. Was it Everclear? No, Sum 41. Everclear was the week before that. Anyway, we got a new show called Everything They Don't Want You to Know on Fridays coming out. And, of course, there'll be a new episode of this next Saturday, another Coolest Pick. But in the meantime, I hope you will join me next Wednesday for another fucking awesome episode of the Coolest Geek Alive. Love you guys. Bye-bye. You've been listening to Coolest Geek Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snyder. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent geek culture content. Thanks for listening.
It's my favorite part! Isn't that heavy? I'll play that! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Coolest alive! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Stay with your tribe! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Revenge of the Geeks! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Week after weeks! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Laughing with you! It's gonna be fucking awesome! And crying sometimes too! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Spelling it out! It's gonna be awesome, making you shout. I'm a genius. I got lyrics coming out me bum for days. You like that? It's a kazoo solo. I played that too. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Talking some shit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Living the shit. My voice is fucking awesome. Food in our mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Get in the mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Tell all your friends. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Call right our text. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Raising the bar. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Straight to the stars. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's starting soon. Straight to the top of the awesome. Passing the moon. It's gonna be fucking awesome. On with the show. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Ready, set, go. It's going to be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Just wait. You'll see. You'll all see.
You'll all see.
The podcast playground. Hooray!